Hello, and welcome back to G Free with Friends and Family. Today we're going to make a little sweet treat. When I first started this channel, I made a 3-ingredient chocolate mousse, which was actually 4 ingredients. But today I'm going to make a chocolate pudding. And it's really simple. And I'm kind of making this up as I go along because I originally had a recipe for a corn flour pudding, and the corn flour was used as a thickener, but I'm out of corn flour right now, and I have a whole lot of tapioca flour that was left over from my nuts.com haul, so I'm going to try and use some of that up. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you're new here, welcome. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my uploads. We're going to start off, and I'm going to add in the tapioca flour first. And tapioca flour is gluten-free, in case you didn't know. But you probably did, because I'm gluten-free. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. I think that's about a tablespoon, and that's about another one. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I have just about 2 tablespoons left. And I think I have a little more. And then, what do they do next? Oh, they mixed it all up. Now, I'm skipping a step. They had milk flour, but I also don't have any more of that. So, I'm substituting sweetened condensed milk for the milk flour and the milk. So I'm going to use sweetened condensed milk and water. Because that's what we do over here. We substitute because we're G's in the kitchen. Okay. Now, altogether they had about 1.5 cups of liquid. So this is, how many ounces? This is 14 ounces, but that can't be right because this can is about 1 cup. So I'm going to add some water to this. Because I used some of this already, and I want to be able to get all of it out of the can. Waste not, want not. That's another thing we do over here. We use everything. All the ingredients in the cabinet, in the refrigerator. And when you have to make substitutions, that just happens naturally. I think I can get most of it off now. Yeah, that's pretty good. And for the rest, I'll add another half cup of water. years ago when my kids were little, I made some pudding from scratch. It was a lot more complicated than this. And I remember, I don't know if I told you the story before, but I doubled the recipe because in my mind, when I saw the measurements, it just didn't seem like it was going to be enough, you know? So I doubled the recipe. And one of the ingredients that I added actually made the recipe swell. Well, the pudding swell. So I had all this pudding in the house. And it was a little scary. Yeah, it was a little scary. I'm sorry, I just got a message on my phone. I turn this on, and I'm doing it on a low heat because I don't know what's going to happen here. I figure you start off low, and then if you need to raise the heat, you can. Oh, I almost forgot my secret ingredient. Oh, and I was going to add something else too. Oh, this is going to be a very good pudding. Cinnamon. I always add cinnamon to my chocolate. And that always gives it such a nice touch. Cinnamon, and I decided to make this mocha flavored. So we're going to add a little coffee. That's instant coffee. Just a little. And I'd say about a teaspoon. There. This might take a little while to heat up. It's smelling good already, though. Already. I know a lot of you might be thinking that this might be a little bit too sweet. Let me just... It's not, it's perfect. And I have, you also need to add a bit of chocolate to the recipe. And I got this with my Imperfect Foods. It's 85% cocoa, and there's no sugar. And it's like a baking chocolate, I guess. I don't know. But there's no little, or it's either no sugar or very little sugar. I don't have my glasses on, so I cannot tell you for sure. Wait, fat, carbohydrates, sugars. Oh, it has 2 grams of sugar, so hardly any sugar. So it's not going to be a super sweet mousse. And if you want super sweet and you're making it like this with sweetened condensed milk instead of instead of the milk powder and sugar, then you can, you could always add more, sweeten it more. But this is perfect for me. To me, this is like a normal sweetness, and then when I add the cocoa or the chocolate, it's going to be even less sweet. And still sweet, but just not super sweet. Some people like very sweet desserts. I can't stomach them. This is smelling so good. Now this is what they say is this takes 5 minutes to cook up. I don't know if that's true. And in the video that I saw, it was kind of lumpy. So I might end up using my stick blender to smooth it out, because I don't like lumpy pudding. It's like, what was it? Said anybody's mom used to make, this is like way back in the day, make, I think it was Mighty Fine chocolate pudding, where you would basically do this. It was everything all mixed up, and then you just add your milk and cook it on the stove. And then they came out with the Mighty Fine instant pudding, and it was nowhere near as good as the one that you cooked on the stove. My mother bought that once, and we were like, nah. Yeah, it tasted like everything didn't dissolve because it was with the cold water, and it just was not fun. No bueno. Okay. Now this is supposed to get a little thick before you add the chocolate, which is going to make it a little thicker. And you have to constantly stir it. I mean, they used a whisk in the video, but I don't have a whisk, so I'm using my spoon. Oh, it smells so good. Like I said, I was experimenting because I didn't have corn flour, but I have tapioca flour, and I know that people use that as a thickener just like cornstarch, so I figured it would be good. Just getting that little ball from scraping the bottom of the pan. And if you've ever made the Mighty Fine stovetop pudding, you know all about that. And the best thing was is when your mother finished making the pudding, and you got the spoon, you got that little, see that little ball on the end of there? You got that little ball. Okay, yeah. This is thickening up nicely, and I think that now it's time to add, let me turn this down. It's time to add the chocolate. Now they didn't give any measures on the chocolate, so I'm just gonna add a few pieces. Okay, and I think I can take that off the heat now because I don't want it to burn. Ooh, this is nice and thick. And mine isn't lumpy. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. You can tell this is going to be absolutely amazing. Did I speak too soon about those lumps? I don't think so. This looks pretty smooth. Now I'm gonna, ooh, look how thick that is. I'm going to, goodness. Just wanna make sure I get all that chocolate mixed in. All that chocolatey goodness. And I'm even gonna add a little more cinnamon. Goodness, so good. So I'm gonna let this cool off a little, stick it in the fridge for a bit, and then I'm gonna scoop it up. I'm not even gonna taste it now. I want to be surprised. And it's too hot, so yeah, I'm gonna let this cool, and I'll be back once I have it all plated up. Well, I'm back with the pudding. It's cooled off. Let me give you a close and personal look. And now for the taste. Can you believe that I didn't even taste this off camera? Mmm. Mmm. This is amazing. I think that I could have used a little less tapioca starch or tapioca flour. But the flavor is amazing. I wish you could taste it through the screen, but you can't. Mmm. Mmm. That chocolate is amazing. The cocoa powder that I used was from Imperfect Foods, and a little disc. No, the cocoa powder was from nuts.com, and the little chocolate disc was from Imperfect Foods. This is good stuff. Mmm. I'm glad I didn't make more, because I would have been eating it. Mmm. Now, the coordinator said that it could have been a little sweeter, but this is plenty sweet. I could have even used less sweetened condensed milk. Well, that's when he first tasted it. He first tasted it and it was warm. And I'm finding that things, when they're cold, are tasting sweeter. I don't know. Hmm. But this is good stuff. Yeah, if I did anything different, I would use a little less tapioca, tapioca flour. But that's it. The flavor is so. Mm. I can't believe it. There's a little left over. I'm gonna let him finish it off tomorrow. Mm. If it makes it through the night, I don't know. But this is some good stuff right here. It's quick and easy, and especially if you have kids, it's something you could just whip up together. That'd be fun. There's this little boy on Instagram. I don't know if anybody follows him. His name is Kobe. I think he's 2, and he cooks. I could definitely see him making some chocolate pudding and making a mess. And he's like me. He likes to taste as he goes along. Hmm. The other day he tasted a lemon. And he was just like, it's okay. Usually when babies taste lemon, they're like, ah. But for some reason, they keep eating it. It's crazy. Mm. Guys, make yourself some pudding. Don't be intimidated. if you don't have all the ingredients. Be a G in the kitchen. Well, I'm going to leave you now. Don't forget to count your blessings, be a blessing to someone else, and be kind to yourself. Until next time.